this, and I think other people are gonna be recording this, Fireflies stuff. Are people comfortable with note takers recording stuff? If not, I can take it away. Speak now if you're not comfortable. Okay, well, so, hi, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sarah Grillo, and thank you for being here. We're gonna be talking about financial advisor websites. This is the flat fee, advice only, and hourly marketing call. So this is our monthly call. Let me just make some quick announcements. Oh my gosh, there are so many people that are coming in. All right, everybody, this is a little overwhelming when everybody comes in the beginning, gotta tell you. Okay. Some quick announcements. Every month, so as part of the flat fee, advice only, and hourly marketing offering, every month I write a written for you piece, okay? So the May one has already been disseminated. Let me know if you didn't get it, the May and the April one. And in addition, I am writing one for June. Now, somebody requested writing about lump sum versus dollar cost averaging. I would much rather write about a question that has specifically been asked to you as flat fee advisors. So something that's like, I mean, I tend to write about a planning focused topic. So I wrote about, like, for example, held away real estate. That's something that you would be more likely to get as a flat fee advisor that focuses as much on planning as on investments. Okay, so I already wrote the June one, but I'm looking for suggestions about the July one, and in the future, any other ones. I could write a second one for June. I'm a prolific writer, and like I write a lot, you know, on the subway, like when I'm going to church, you know, I go to church like twice a week, confession on Fridays, and then the actual mass on Sundays. So I'm at church, like going back and forth. It's all the way in downtown Manhattan, so Midtown Manhattan. So I do write a lot, and if you want me to, I'd be happy to custom write a piece for you, okay, if you don't like the June topic. Just to refresh everybody's memory, there is a the next meetup is going to be, we have one meetup a month, and the next meetup is June 5th at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm just going to go ahead and write that into the chat. The people on this membership get numerous discounts. If you're on the flat fee advice only or hourly marketing program, just a quick reminder, and then we're going to get into the actual webinar. There are discounts. One, immersion. Okay, the immersion is in Kansas City in March, and if you didn't already buy your ticket, if you are on my flat fee advice only or hourly marketing program, you get a 30% discount. Right now, the ticket price is $300. You also get discounts to Wealth Tender. You get a discount to being in the Flat Fee Advisors US directory if you're a flat fee advisor. And Josh is here. Hi, Josh. You want to say hi?
Hi. Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Rickerson. Nice to meet all of you.
You actually get a discount to Soft Clay websites if you need a website. So, Josh, you want to tell them a little bit about what you do and how it's different?
Yeah, sure. I'm a freelance web developer, and I specialize in what I like to call low-cost, low-maintenance websites. I primarily focus on streamlined alternatives to like mainstream website builder platforms like WordPress or Squarespace. For small business websites that are primarily text or image content with a blog, there are better solutions than WordPress or site builders out there today. They just require a little technical expertise to take advantage of, and that's where I come in.
Amen.
So that's, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I invited Josh to hang out with us today. He's going to be kind of the resident expert on this topic. I'm going to be talking, but just feel free to chime in, Josh, if I say anything wrong technically. Okay, so I have a bunch of questions here. Folks, enter your website questions into the chat. Here's why I want to talk to you. It is my personal goal to have flat fee advisors, advice only planners, and hourly advisors take over the internet with your awesome websites. Because the way I see it, this is a key advantage that you have as flat fee advisors, advice only, fee only advisors, okay? Is that you can have flexibility and leverage on the internet to be creative and to get SEO working for you. We're not going to be so SEO focused today, but we are going to talk about some of the elements of SEO. I'm going to talk about what your website should basically look like, my pet peeves. And so does anybody want to volunteer up their website? Do you want to volunteer your website? Just put it in the chat if you want me to analyze your, okay, go ahead. Put it in the chat, please, Matthew. And anybody else that wants me to analyze their website as well, I'm going to talk about what the key components should be on your website, okay? Now, in addition, folks, if you haven't read this yet, there's a piece by Alan Slider of Fee Only Network, who has written a guide to, I'm putting it right here in the chat, okay? And Alan Slider has a guide to getting found on the internet, to customizing your website. And I just put that into the chat, and I would ask you to please read that, okay? Because I really want to make these websites good. So here we are. This is your, so Matthew, this is your website, allies21.com. Is this it? Say yes or no, please. Okay, I can't hear you.
Yes, sorry,
so-
this was mine. Yes, sorry.
Okay,
Sorry,
so this
Sarah.
is your website. Okay, so this, well, here's the homepage. The homepage in 1 second should convey what you do and who you do it for. So I like it that it talks about something about widows, but okay, first of all, there should be an image here, okay? And the reason there should be an image is because the brain processes image faster than it processes words, okay? And this should be bigger text, it should be bold, and it should jump at you, okay? Now, death is traumatic for widows. Let's make it better, not worse. Matthew, okay, I need to know what you do for these widows. I like that you call out to the widows, but I need to know what you do for them. So death is traumatic for widows. Like, what do you mean? The widows, like the widow themselves dying, or their spouse having died? It's unclear, okay? So everybody on this call, can you please type your website into Google, look at it, and tell me if your website does that? Let's do a homework right now, okay? Pull your website up. Does it say that within 3 seconds? Who do I work for and what do I do for them? Does it say that, everybody? Tell me. Tell me what yours is. Go ahead, call it out or put it in the chat, whatever you want. If you want to put your website in the chat, I can look at it, okay? But, okay, this is the logo. I'm assuming, Matthew, is this your logo, Flying Solo?
Yes, and it's Paul.
Okay. Oh, this is Paul's website. Okay.
Yes, yeah. That's why you
Okay.
caught me off guard to begin with. I was like, Matthew, hold
Yeah,
on,
okay,
that's
because Matthew
mine.
said he was gonna, so Matthew's is Encore. Okay,
Yes.
so my foot lamp, okay, there's a bunch of there. Paul, okay, this is too big, I think. What do you think, Josh? Is it too big?
Sorry,
Okay.
is which thing too big?
His like little logo here.
I mean, considering what else is on the page, yeah, I think it's taking up a little too much space
Right,
with
okay.
the content around it.
I think so too, thank you. So it has to be, Josh, do you have any other comments on this? The top part of the head of the homepage is the most critical, everybody. In general in marketing, please write this down. This is a critical point. Don't assume that they scroll. Do not assume that they scroll. Some of them won't if they don't like what they see. They are that impatient. Okay, so the fact that, Paul, don't take this personally, this is too pushed down. I don't like this here. This menu should be at the top of the page. These should be maybe on the same line as it, but this is too much space for this to be starting 1.5 inches down on the page in the viewer's screen. Okay. Josh, what other comments do you have real quick on this homepage?
I mean, I think you could make it work if you redesigned that tagline, just the death is traumatic, and separate those two things out to make, you know, the two statements visually stand out. You could do that with typography alone, but a single line of text like this definitely doesn't grab attention. But you could work with this without fully throwing it out, you know?
Okay. So by the way, Josh, put your contact info in the chat so that if people
Yeah,
want to talk to you
absolutely.
about like redoing their websites or like, I don't know how you work specifically, if you work on existing websites or you just
Sure.
make new ones or whatever, but just put your contact info so that everybody, please, everybody connect with Josh. He is a nice person. You need resources like this in your corner, everybody. Okay. Find him on LinkedIn. Now, okay, yeah, the other thing is I'm not sure there should be more color contrast here. I feel like this is a little bit blasé with the black and white, okay? So I'm not crazy about this. The other thing is, this is another thing, financial advisors, please. Aging people sometimes have eyesight issues, okay? Look, I'm not judging anybody. I am getting there, okay? We are all getting there. But please, the text, this is too light. It should be dark, even bold, dark, big text, okay? Make it easy on all of us. Okay, so death is traumatic for widows. Again, this is kind of developing the case for it, but I'm sorry, but I'm pedaling the bike here and I need to know right away what you do and how you can help me, right? So I would have said here, hi, I'm Paul. I'm an advice-only planner located in Boise, Idaho, and I help widows to create a clear financial plan that will make them comfortable achieving their goals in the future. Okay, and then we go to the next section. But this is too, like, I don't have time for this, okay? That's my comments on the, and then we get to some things. See? Okay, Paul, why not put this at the top of the page? And see, now I feel like I know, see, because I know which one you are, because I know you, I've met you before, but I don't, but still, I like this. This is genuine. This is warming me, causing me an emotion, okay? So, see, family and the people that matter to us, right? Okay, I mean, again, not a great tagline. Sorry, I don't mean to offend you, but okay, that's my comments on your homepage. Folks, the homepage is the most important. Homepage, fees page, and about page. Folks, please write this down. These are the most important pages on the whole website. As a flat fee advisor, advice only, hourly, you should state on the homepage, I'm a fee only advisor in blah, blah, because that's going to trigger SEO. You should also state I am a flat fee advisor, and then you should link out to that fees page. You should have a tab elsewhere on your website. This is important, okay? I value transparency, which is why I decided to structure my practice as a flat fee advisor. We need the words flat fee advisor on the homepage. We need, I'm going to do it for each of you. We need the words advice only planner on the homepage. We need the words hourly financial advisor on the homepage. Okay, it needs to be there. And by the way, there needs to be a fees. Alan Slider in his document calls it fiduciary page. There needs to be a fiduciary page where we talk about being a fiduciary, how that impacts how we charge fees. All right. Okay. Now, sorry, I have to move on to somebody else here.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So I'm sorry for all the comments in the chat that I've been unable to get to so far. Oh my gosh, everybody's putting their websites into the chat. We might have to do a second. Do you want to do maybe like a second, even like website meetup this month? I could do it if you want. If we don't get to everybody's, I'm going to have to do a second website meetup, but I'm going to try hard to get to everybody's. Okay. Now, my foot lamp. Here's Ed's. I'm so excited for all of you being here. You know what I'm saying? I'm really like, it really means a lot to me personally that all of you have shown up for this. And those of you that are working with me, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me to be able to be a part of your business. I love these businesses. Okay, so Josh, I'm going to give you a minute to prepare your comments. Ed, I like the color scheme on this website. This is an example of a nice header, good big text, big bold statement, and then supporting statement, nice call to action, boom, button. I like this here. But again, I feel like this is too much. You're wasting the prime real estate here, okay? This is too much white space. I want this condensed a little bit. I also would like this maybe, what do you think, Josh? Maybe like condense this even a little bit too, okay? Josh, what are your comments on this page?
Yeah, so to your earlier points about text contrast, there are actually technical guidelines to be followed, some of which have legal implications. So I do see a few text contrast concerns, particularly around this image. White text on a complicated photo is really hard to get right. Everybody does it, but it's really difficult to get right and make it readable. Personally, I find this a little bit difficult to read. And to that end, there's a whole list of accessibility like criteria for websites. I'm also a digital accessibility specialist, in addition to being a developer. And just on a real quick automated audit on this one page, I can identify 30 issues. And visually, you wouldn't see that. But technically, under the hood, there are a lot of details that are extremely important that matter for compatibility with assistive technology like screen readers and SEO and other, other ways that computers interact with your website. And so those are some of the things that, your choice of web platform really make a difference. And that's something that I can assist with.
Ah, okay. See, I never thought about that. Like accessibility means like people who are visually impaired. There are new like standards and guidelines that I think are becoming more popular. I don't know if they're not required by regulation.
So
Yeah.
it's required by legal precedents only. So there is legal precedence that the American with Disabilities Act does apply to websites, even though the legislation was written before the internet existed. So there are no like strict legal requirements in this regard, at least in the US. Other countries, yes. But there is legal precedent that somebody who experiences a very significant accessibility issue with your website could potentially sue you. But you really have to be worth somebody's effort to kind of go through that at this point. But there are other benefits to complying with those guidelines. As I said, SEO is one of them. And so there's a lot of reasons
So your
to
website's
comply
gonna
with
be
those.
okay. So in the future, websites that are more accessible are going to be boosted up in SEO, whereas those
Correct.
that are not are going to be pushed down. That's good to know. See,
Correct.
glad you're
Well,
here. Okay.
What about
Yeah, so-
what about the snippets for AI searching and all of that? Is that something we can do on our homepage as well?
Yeah, so there's a lot of choices there. There's a lot of different ways that you can kind of feed more like structured information for AI and traditional web search crawlers. A lot of that does get, again, real technical under the hood. And some of those things can be difficult to implement in like pre-made template builder things. It sort of depends on the particular platform and what you're working with. But yes, that is something that you can and should consider for your website. But I will say, if your website is accessibly made to begin with, there's really not any extra work you need to do for AI, because when a website is properly semantically structured for just general accessibility, AI is also able to better understand your website. And so there's nothing else you need to do. There's no two versions here. It's just doing something right the first time,
And if anybody doesn't know this that's on here, I guess half of us probably do, but there's a tax code with the IRS for ADA compliance that actually applies to websites. I mean, it applies to everything ADA. So you can actually get a tax deduction by upgrading some of your stuff that needs to be upgraded anyway.
Sorry, what is that tax deduction? Is there like a specific
I'll have to look it up. It's like
code or something?
Section 44. I'll like send something to you later.
Yeah, I would love that, because that's actually fantastic for me to know. I do offer ADA or accessibility compliance audits and such. So turns out my services could be tax deductible. That's cool.
Amen.
Sarah, can I make a quick,
Go.
can I make a
Oh.
quick comment?
Everybody, let's take over the world. I'm serious about, like, I really want to take over the internet, and I'm not even just saying this like as a soundbite. Like, I really, really want this. Like, I literally want everybody's website to come up as in Google search page 1, entry 1. I just literally want this bad. Okay, so let's do this now. Ed, I think this is good.
May I make a quick comment, Sarah? As
Yeah.
you're looking through that, just, and Josh, I'll certainly be following up with you. I mean, this is
Sure.
the FMG service that I'm using. I moved from Snappy Kraken, which was, I think, advisor websites, which I'd used for years, to this. And so those are like two industry standard websites. And listen to all the things that you're pointing out that are wrong. And this is even like the middle tier membership level.
Mhm.
And I can't stand it. I mean, it's so,
Yeah.
just to get stuff done behind the scenes is very frustrating. And then all the things that you're pointing out just drives me nuts. And so I guess I just wanted to share that with everybody that it's not like I'm using some one-off thing. I'm using
It's
like,
FMG Suites.
yeah, FMG Suites, like an industry standard thing. And you're so quickly, you didn't get beyond the landing page to point out all these problems. And so,
Okay, let's
Yeah,
just look.
sorry, if I could just real quick, the dirty secret of the website builder industry is that they are banking on you not knowing all of the technical underpinnings and some of the importance of all of that. They're going to slap marketing on there to help you feel confident about it. But a developer who truly understands the underlying code will always be able to pick it apart. I have, in more than 10 years, not seen a single website platform output something as good as what I can build the first time around. Not one.
Okay, so flat fee. I love that there's a flat fee page. Okay, awesome, Ed. Yes, okay, flat fee transparency. As a flat fee financial and investment planning firm, we are fully committed to fee transparency. Okay, I love that you have flat fee here, but I'm just not sure, Ed, if this is the correct phrase. I need you to be looking on your Google Search Console and enter into your Google Search Console this specific URL in the performance tab, because I need to know and everybody on here, please install Google Search Console onto your website. Please do it. If you haven't done it, I want you to send me an email right now and say, Sarah, I didn't do it. Sarah@sarahgrillo.com. Send me an email and I'll set up a reminder in my schedule to bug you until it gets done. I might even be able to help you. The reason is this is so critical, folks. You have to understand what is going on. And I want you to at least look once a month. If you're on my programs, I will look for you. I am looking. If you're on any of my programs, I have you on my Google Search Console and I am stalking your website analytics constantly, so that the next time we talk or that you email me something and remind me, I'm going to look and then have comments for you. Okay. Folks, you have to understand which pages are getting good traffic and what they're getting the traffic for. So for example, right here, flat fee financial and investment planning firm. I don't think that's the right phrase. I think it would have been flat fee advisor, flat fee financial advisor. I don't know. I think those are the better terms. I have it like written down somewhere. Okay. But it has to be exact. Fee transparency, great. Okay. I would have explained a little bit more. Maybe so if you're going to say the fees, then say the fee. Okay. I like that you just have a little explainer here, but maybe down here, Ed, right here, I would want a little bit more explaining about flat fees. I chose to be as a flat fee advisor and put a geographic locator on it. As a flat fee advisor in Alpharetta, Georgia, I chose to structure my practice this way because I wanted to create clarity about the exact dollar amount of fees that the clients would be paying. I charge a fixed fee that never changes. The word fixed fee is also a SEO keyword for this, okay? Flat fee financial advisor, fixed fee financial advisor, all of those. There needs to be enough text here so that Google can find, so that you can make sure that you're triggering the sensors with Google, okay? And then this is good. Ed, I do feel like this is perhaps too many bullets. Like I would take out the and more because you already have enough bullets here. And then maybe also like center this vertically so this is pushed down a little bit more, because there should be a little bit more symmetry vertically than there is, because it kind of looks like it's out of alignment slightly. But this is good. Okay, the about page. About, okay. Where's your bio? Ed, wrap the text and push it up here so that I see the text, okay? Because it does, I don't like, remember, what's my rule? Don't assume that they will scroll, okay? All right. And I like this here. Yes. This, having a question and answer bio is awesome. Even better if you could use bullets like at the end, how he has this. Awesome, okay? That makes it nice and consumable for the clients. All right, so the main pages are home, flat fee, and about. And having said that, I have to move on to somebody else's website. Does anybody have any questions so far? By the way, everybody, this is a free,
I've got a question.
yeah.
Would it be best to use the hero spot for the thing we're giving away free or the thing we're giving away free for an email address? Instead of like the very top of the website, like instead of putting a picture there, would it not be best to put the small product that we have or the easy product or the thing we're giving away for free?
Okay,
So-
so in the hero image of the website?
Well, yeah, in the hero section, like instead of like, wouldn't it be better to like put some type of like value there that's maybe free, maybe something small paid, but and then
No, I know, I think, because I think you don't know. I would much rather have it be like even a pop-up rather, like I'd rather have a pop-up or like a specific call out on that page, but I think the header should be like very clearly displaying what exactly it is you do and who you do it for, because I think that's why people come to your page.
okay.
Okay?
So
What?
don't use it as a landing page. Don't use your main page as a landing page.
Landing page. Everybody, sorry, I just did this, but I just put the flat fee search volumes. Oh my gosh, people, this is blowing my mind. This is blowing my head off of my neck. 3 years ago, this was flat fee financial advisors was like 200 searches a month. Now there are 1.3 searches a month on this term flat fee financial advisors. Now, granted, it could be from other financial advisors. We don't know. Okay, but this has to be due somehow to, even if it is increasing in volume from other financial advisors, it's increasing. That's happening for a reason. It's because the tides are shifting, everybody. Okay, these are the keywords you should be putting onto your website. Flat fee advisors, flat fee CFP. Wow, I've never seen that keyword before, everybody. Flat fee financial advisor cost. Okay, so that's why you should rearrange it around and put it on that fees page. But everybody, I need a fees page on your website. And I need it needs to be, like he said, maybe fiduciary or fees or flat fee. Maybe flat fee should be the tab name, folks. And there should be language on there, iterations, chunk up these words, rearrange them, okay? Do permutations of them. What do my services what is the cost of my flat fee financial advisor service? Put that on your flat fee page. Okay. Sorry, but my mind is absolutely exploding. I feel like this is volcanic explosion right now. Okay. Holy smoke. Okay. The next one, who else's website did I have? Okay. Encore Retirement. Now, okay, good header image, whoever this is, Matthew. See, yeah, Matthew, sorry, I thought you were Paul. Confidence feels better than guesswork. Get a tax smart retirement planner for a straightforward flat fee. I like it. Tax efficient retirement planning. I'm getting it here. Like this is it. But I don't know. I feel like this needs to be smaller, maybe like this one. Like this is too much big text. What do you think, Josh? Too much big text? I feel like I want to downplay this and emphasize this.
Yeah, I think you can kind of more like you can better communicate the relationship to those two things by tweaking the sizing a little bit. Kind of like some of the like spacing and positioning on Ed's website. I'm gonna guess that this is again like a slight limitation of a site builder that gives you sort of like preset sizes to work with. And again, that's where a developer can step in and kind of help you get a little more fine grained with
Right.
what's going on.
So Josh, you're
okay.
saying just drop the confidence was better than guesswork bit a little bit. Because this is a layer slider. Like I can tweak it all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would probably size that text down a little bit, just because like it supports the main thing that you're pitching here, but it's not the main point.
Right.
You know.
Doing it right now.
Good imagery, warmth, love, evokes emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Good job. As featured in, sorry. Ooh, what should I say? I'm sorry about that. I'm not the biggest fan of these, like this kind of humble bragging thing here. I mean, I know I even have one on my website. I have to get it taken off. I don't even know why I have it, to be honest with you. I think I just had it because everybody else has it, but I'm not the biggest fan of
Why
this
it
taking
looks
off.
it's kind of nice. You're establishing some credibility right at the beginning. That's the idea.
Hear more about what you say than what you say you've done, you know?
Don't they want to
and-
know that I'm credible before they'll listen to what I say? Like I'm just trying to like, I don't know.
Yeah, look, that's my personal opinion. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but you know, if you feel more comfortable with it there, amen. Okay, here's a sample of what you get when you choose blah, blah, retirement planning done well. Okay. This is like it's too many ideas, you know, like what I would just say, here's a sample of what you get. Like, what is this though? I don't get, sorry, I don't mean to
This
be,
is-
I don't mean to offend, but I don't get, what is this? Like,
This is to bog you
visual.
down. It's
We're-
text heavy. You're supposed to spend time on it, and it's like lots of little treats.
I'm going to dig through your pile of treats, not without a very compelling reason to do so. People bounce from websites like you would not believe. The bounce rate on websites, if your site is not done in 3 seconds,
I'm like losing him.
Josh, we're losing you. Sorry. Don't lose us, Josh. Sorry. I think there's an internet problem. Josh, we're gonna have to come back to you when you come back in. I hope you don't fade off the call. Okay. Don't settle for less. So I think what Josh is just saying here is that, and Josh is right, that bounce rates, you can find out the bounce rate on your website by going to your Google Analytics page. Everybody, please do this right now. Go to Google Analytics, look at what the bounce rate is on your homepage. If it's over 50%, you need to change something on the homepage, okay?
Well, it depends on who's going there too, right? And like, couldn't you use a heat map to decide what people are actually reading and what they're not? And where they're
You-
spending time?
Yeah, is that a plugin or something? Dan?
Probably the
That
easiest.
would be really helpful.
Yeah, it depends on what you're using. Like there's all kinds of like there's, you know, like if you're using WordPress, there's like 50,000 plugins, but they have to be updated and work right or they'll crash your website or, you know, but yeah, like if you can find a heat map, like sometimes they do that. And so they're, it depends on what's, you know, what you're using, but
Yeah, this is WordPress.
it's
so-
hard to tell. I don't know. It's hard to tell why somebody's bounced, whether it's because they really weren't a good fit or because I feel like I write too much. I always write too much, but there's some places where like Sarah, can you scroll down a little bit? I can read clarity over whatever. And 3 or 4 of those, like if you scroll up a little tiny bit more, or I couldn't even process those unless I zoomed in on your website. And I don't have
I
that
need-
much.
More
I'm
than a
just saying-
17-point font, is that what you're saying?
I think you might need at least 14, but you also may need like less words in each place. Or because people remember like 3 things.
Right.
Like they just can't.
It's too much, there's too many ideas, is what he's saying, okay? Sorry, we don't mean to beat you up.
No, I mean it's a philosophical kind of question. Like
Sure.
what are people
So-
actually coming
Yeah,
the
so
website for.
sorry if I can jump in. I got cut off. My internet just dropped out for a sec. I just wanted to say like these things have been under heavy debate basically the entire time that websites have gone marketed. um, but there are ways to actually like systematically test these types of changes. I don't know if anybody's ever heard the term A/B testing, but it's basically where you test two versions of things side by side and compare results. A/B testing on a WordPress website can be a nightmare and a half to set up. But again, if you choose the right tools, A/B testing can be quite simple. So I have some solutions in place for that. My recommended analytics solution, spoiler alert, it's not Google, does have a scroll depth feature built in. So it'll measure how far down the page people scroll on average. So you can start to make changes and measure whether or not people are compelled by your content to see if they actually scroll to the bottom. There are tools out there. It's just a lot of, again, the mainstream options are not great for some of these.
Scroll depth, I think, would be a big deal for me.
Yep. Yeah,
See
for
if
sure.
people get through that.
Yeah, definitely. And in regards to like sizing and spacing, you know, a lot of it's just getting the right hierarchy. You know, specific sizing aside, like people process things visually in hierarchies, and so finding a balance for each of those sections of your website is, you know, something that a designer can help you with.
You know, it's different for different people too. Like I had a website where everybody that was looking at it was looking at the about site because they were all these matriarch or older women that wanted to find about me before they even read anything that I wrote.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, it'll
Whereas,
vary by audience, which is why, again, measuring what you're doing and the effect that it has is critical. Yeah, it very much depends on your audience.
Okay, so listen, I have to move on here. Matthew, this looks good when we get here. See, professional help for retirement savers age 50 plus. Now you're talking to me. Now I'm figuring out who you work with, and I feel like this is more relevant, more specific, more focused. Lower tax, see, you're saying the benefits, lower taxes in retirement, manage investments, risk involved, but like I'm seeing the value now. Okay, create tax efficient income, keep sharp even if you're not. I don't know about that one there, but I like that you have a video. The video will increase dwell time, which is going to increase the performance of your website. It's also going to increase the branding adhesion, help people to kind of attach to you more in their minds. And then over here, hi, I'm Matt. I mean, I like that you have this right here. This is, I think this is a good part here. Okay, now check out all the services. Well, okay, we haven't done a services page yet. Let me go to your pricing again. Interesting. I like that. The only thing is, doesn't really explain. See, yeah, okay, needs more keywords on this page. And instead of pricing, could we put flat fee? Could we call it that? Advice only, but it's like someone might not know what that is unless they've gone to the services page. Investment management, again here, this is good, actually. I think that tax planning, okay, retirement planning, but it almost looks like it's under, oh, see that, I don't know. This is kind of like, this is too much thought. If I don't know what all this stuff is, I might kind of feel like this is these are bullets under this. Like I almost feel like these are the bullets under this category. So that kind of would mess with my mind a little bit, right? So it's not exactly that clear. I think this needs to be made clearer, but I like the overall presentation of this. It's visual. That's good. This is good. This part here, these pictures that you did, Matthew, good. Okay.
Cool. I'm with you.
Sorry.
Thanks. Oh, I that's on my roadmap for changing that menu around because I think it is a little too much thinking. But so thanks for validating.
Amen. Okay. Now, sorry, who's next? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to everybody. Here's what my website looks like. Okay. Sorry. Karina, I'm gonna have to come back because I just am kind of moving at the speed of light. And I want to get through all this stuff and I don't know if I'm going to be able to. And then it's too much for me to like download and then upload. If you had a link, I could do it. Okay, so this is Free State. Hi, John. Okay, Free State Financial Planning. Again, this is too much scrolling, I feel. Like, why do we need like a whole blue horizon here of nothingness before I get to the your money, your values, my advice? Okay, I need to know how you help me though, right? So I would say like financial planning for 50 plus, tax efficient retirement planning. I help you not run out of money in retirement. I help you put together whatever it is. Okay. It's nice. This looks nice visually, but like I said, this is too much empty open screen here and it's not enough. Get to the point right away. As seen in, again, this, oh my goodness. Okay, so this should, if you're gonna do one of these as seen ins, people, like one of these banner things, could you please just do it smaller and minimize? It should be like 1 inch, all right? Okay, how is advice only different? Well, I would have said, I would have said, John, at the top, like advice only financial planning to help you retire with ease or something like that, okay?
Okay.
Advice only, see, this is good. You explain advice only. However, I need it to be keyword optimized as an advice only planner in, and then put a geographic locator in there. Is it, what is this, Colorado?
Well,
Accuracy,
Maryland. It's
accuracy.
Maryland, but that's okay.
Maryland?
Well,
Maryland.
well,
Okay.
that's my house in Pennsylvania. So, but yes, it's close enough. It's
Okay, so as an advice only planner, I'm an advice only planner. I would have said, I am an advice only planner based in Maryland. And that means that I give recommendations. See, get my keywords in there. Okay, John, so we could take over the internet. John, if you go search on advice only planner in Maryland, go type that into Google. Is your website coming up? Probably not. Okay, so we've got to work on that. Advice only means I give recommendations, blah, 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 blah. As a part of my comprehensive, I also evaluate and recommend investment changes. It's not clear what you mean by that even, right? So I don't know. I don't have time to clarify that, but that needs to be made more clear. It needs to be made clear that I will provide investment recommendations, but not implement them. That's not clear. How I help families like yours. Again, help is so vague. How do I help people like you to retire with tax,
Confidence.
how to create a retirement financial plan? Like put another keyword in there for me and then put another keyword here. All right. And the other thing is, folks, anytime, please, this is another nugget. Anytime you have paragraphs and it's like this, blocks, it's too much. Okay. I need it to be bullet pointed or 2 sentences, or we need some bolding or something, but like, I'm not going to read this. This is I'm coasting like the breeze and I cannot process all of this information. Okay. And then, okay, you can see how I work with families like yours on this page. This is a waste of a hyperlink, this keyword. Okay. Whatever the page is that it goes to, planning areas, I would have just said like financial, it should say financial planning. And I would have said back here, like yours on this description of my finance, you can see how I work with
offerings.
like, I would have said, you can see how please refer to my description of my financial planning for retirees service or something like that. The bolded over, the hyperlinked part should be keyworded. Okay, there should be more keyword, like page is not a keyword. Okay, you see what I'm saying? We need to make it rich with keywords. Anything bolded, the keywords should be bolded, hyperlinked over. Okay, as much as emphasis as we could put to tell Google, this is an important piece of information. Put me in this category. Every time you bold or italicize or keyword something or hyperlinked over it, you're helping Google understand, put this website in this or that category. Okay, estate planning, boom, good. Yep, I like these. I think these circles could be a little smaller. Benefits, company benefits. what benefits?
Yeah, employee
Anyway.
benefits. I
I
was
would
trying to
write-
keep it symmetrical. So yeah, that's
I would put employee benefits because if somebody came to my site and like they would be looking for company benefits. And like, and some of that's like a lot of the stuff is exactly the same language until you get into it because it's the opposite side of it.
Mhm.
This stuff's so hard because we're like taught to create a commercial and nobody wants to watch the commercial.
Good keywording here. Certified financial planner in Columbia, Maryland. Awesome. Yes. See, if you're CFP, it should be CFP in whatever geography. That's going to help. I would almost say it's not gonna, okay, I'm an advice only planner. Yep. Okay, good. See, Maryland registered investment advisor. He's got the keywords going on like Donkey Kong. All right. So good for you, John, that this is going on here. Volunteer. Why not have some pictures of you volunteering? Okay. Bring it to life a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. But again, I like the question and answer format in a bio, and I also like bullets.
Sure.
Now process, steps to financial confidence, advice only discovery call, advice only planning discovery call. I would much rather see it. John, are you going to come to immersion, please? Because I'd love to meet you.
Maybe.
All right.
I'm not a big travel. Well, I could travel, but it's yeah. I'll think about it.
So, everyone who went to immersion, do you think John should come to immersion?
They do the
Say
peer
yes or
pressure.
no.
Do the peer pressure.
All right. Put it in the chat if you think you should come to immersion. Anyways, okay. So overall, I think this is okay, but it's in good keyword. I don't know, Josh, what do you think of this website?
It's not bad. Again, just some usual like sizing, spacing concerns that me as a designer can pick apart to improve. To your point, like giant blocks of text are, I wouldn't necessarily put a hard rule against it, but the key is that the main points you want to get across are easily scannable. So you can mix bullets, headers, big blocks of text where appropriate, but if the key information only lives in a giant block of text, a lot of people are not going to find it. And so, yeah, I think scannability of the page is critical. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay, Michael done that. Michael, did you put your website in here?
Me?
Michael and Casey. Hi, Casey and Michael. Do you want me to look at your website here? Did you put it into the chat? Because I saw you put something into the chat, but then I don't even know what it was. Who else's do we have here? Somebody else put their website in. It was GW Advice. Okay. Casey and Mike, I could look at your website next after this one if you want, okay? Thanks for being here, by the way. Thanks for being here, everybody. Okay, generational wealth development. Financial advisor in rural Missouri. Financial advisor from Cameron, Missouri. I help rural middle. Okay, good. I would rather have it say like flat, or like fee only financial advisor in Cameron, Missouri. If you could also say CFP. I'm a CFP in Missouri. Phil Durham, advice only financial planner. Good. See, look at this. There we go. Okay. I like it again, but see this spacing here too much. Just have to condense this a little bit, please. Click here to sign up for Phil's Financial Corner. Good. There's a call to action right away. Could use a little spacing between these icons and this line here. I like that it says your full name. Oh my gosh. I've found this in numerous places where people have these websites and they just say, hi, I'm Casey. I'm a financial advisor. And then nowhere on the website does it say Casey's last name. No, sorry, Casey, I'm not pinpointing you directly. I'm just saying this is an example. Mike. I'm a financial advisor, but like, I want to know what your name is, Mike. You know what I'm saying? So this is good. I think this is also a good picture here, like interesting picture. But I do need, by the way, to see professional pictures of you, Financial Phil, as well. Okay, so this, I don't know, I would have put this on the homepage. I think a more professional representation would have been better for the homepage, but I like this picture. I would have put it for the about page for a more personal one. Maybe. Full service, long-term partnership, hourly consulting. I don't know, this is confusing. Like, why all these different, what does this mean? Full service, hourly consult, I mean, these are the service options, but again, but like I would have said, I would have bulleted these a little bit better because this is getting too much block text. Advice only financial planner. Your advice only financial planning is boom, 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 boom. And I would rather have bullets here instead of this. Okay. Make it, it's not clear what you do. To see again, even not even clear here. I help rural America to learn about personal finance so they can. No, you help them create a plan that will create generational wealth and change their family's futures. I like the create generational wealth part, etc. But I'm learning, like, what is this, a course? You see what I'm saying? Like, clarity, folks, you have to be clear. Okay, long-term partnership. What does that mean? What if I don't want to work with you long-term? Like, just how long-term, right? So that's weird. Okay, financial advisor for rural families. Great. See, again, great key wording. Nice family picture because you're talking about families here. It looks like it's in a rural location. Awesome. Rural, I don't know. Phil, find out if middle income families is good. Use Uber suggest that I put the link in the chat. Find out if that is a good search word, if it has good search volume. Does rural family or middle income family, like finance for rural families, finance for middle income families, what are these keyword terms that are actually getting traffic? Okay, from banker to financial advisor. See, now this is good to have the personal pictures. Okay. I like that he has a sign up. He has a sign up right away. Everybody, there should be some actionable way for them to follow you. Even if you send out the newsletter once a year, I don't care. A lot of people are going to come to your website and then not do business with you, but might just want to sign up to follow you. So there should be some kind of a follow option. You see here, he has 3 follow options. He has Facebook and LinkedIn, and then his newsletter.
What do you think about for him? Like probably a lot of his clients might be from 2 counties over. Like I know I travel 15 different counties, like easily. And a lot of us can work with anybody. What do you think about having a service map of, local service map and how can that help with like local SEO?
Service map, like a geographic map on the website?
Yeah, some of our clients or a lot of our clients come from these counties because we're very close.
I would definitely state them on the website. And I think if you can put a map in there, that would even help Google more. Yeah, probably. But I'm just guessing about the map part. But I think anything you like, I serve this county, that county, that county, that county. Awesome. Yes. Financial advisor for farmers in blah, blah. Yeah.
The map might be a good visual, but the better thing to help Google is to make use of structured data. Again, some of that like under the hood stuff that I've been talking about. There's ways to define very specifically different service areas. You can even attach different offers. And all of this is like really like code under the hood stuff that some CMSs sort of expose to you, but truly none of them really do. So what I tend to do for my clients is I hand code a lot of this kind of stuff into their websites, particularly because for people who offer services like your services don't change all that often. And so having that come from a dynamic source, often involves a lot of over engineering, whereas, someone like me who builds a website for you can understand in better detail what services you actually offer, and then make sure that that's represented not just in what's visually on the page, but also some behind the scenes code stuff that very specifically tells Google, hey, I offer this service to these areas.
And then are you also integrating that with Google Local?
Yes. So like Google handles like all of that sort of automatically. Google Local, the product, is really meant for businesses that have local physical locations. So if you don't have a local physical office, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different than saying I serve a particular area. So there's some nuance there, but yes, it helps with local search to have that sort of service in particular areas structure.
Phil, I need a little bit of better description of what advice only financial planning is. I love your keywording here. I love how much you're emphasizing it. And it's like it's like I teach you how to invest, manage. Like, what does this mean? Like, we will have 3 meetings. At the end of the 3rd meeting, you'll be rendered a 5-page financial plan. It will detail cash flow, retirement planning, debt, blah, 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 right? Even better if you can include a download of a sample financial plan. Nobody does it. No one really knows what a financial plan is. Like, my parents are like, Sarah, we hired a financial planner. She's like, my parents are like, we got a financial advisor, Sarah. He wants us to do a financial plan. I guess I'll pay for it, but I'm not sure what it is. Right? This is so nobody knows. Okay. So if you have any kind of a sample, put it on your website and have them download it and exchange their email for that download. Okay. That's a great lead magnet. No one does that. Nobody does that. Okay. And so I'm going to just go to the next one in a minute. Articles and blog posts. Yeah. If any of you can blog, that helps the SEO a ton. Okay. Now, I was originally going to end at 2:30 because I have a 2:30, but I'm not sure. I emailed that person to ask them if I could get more time. So I can actually maybe stay a little bit more than 2:30. Everybody just bear with me here to see if my client got the message about being pushed, the meeting being pushed. No, she didn't. Okay, so she's probably going to show up at 2:30 and I'll have to make an escape. I'll have to abruptly end the meeting, but I'm not sure. So do you want to just hang with me until the person shows up? Does everyone want to hang out with me still?
Yeah.
It's okay. I won't be offended. Thanks for saying, yeah, whoever said that. You're cool.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So
I have a question. Maybe we can hit in the next minute.
Okay.
Blogging. Do you say should the whole blog be on the website? Or do you think using a blogging like dedicated platform is a better
It should be
strategic
connected
choice?
to the website. Should be a tab on the website. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Caregivers resource. Hi, Scott. How are you?
Hi, Sarah. Good. How are you?
Good. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Empowering family caregivers with support and guidance. People. You're financial advisors, everybody. Okay. Financial planning for family caregivers. Okay. I create tax efficient financial plans for family caregivers. Okay. Caregiving is ever changing. We're here to help. This could be, what does that mean? I'm here to, how do I help you? It could be like the payroll department for the caregivers. It could be the website company for the caregivers. They're all here to help. Okay. Scott, has to be more specific. Folks, higher focus equals higher results in all things in marketing. Higher focus equals higher results. Higher focus equals higher results. Sorry, I have to repeat this over and over again. There more specificity, okay? Schedule strategy call. Okay, good. Get good hero image. Good. I mean, it's good. It's a caregiver. Except that person doesn't particularly look like they're in acute need of care. I mean, they could be, but who knows? But it looks like, I mean, this guy looks like he does triathlons or something. Okay, see, this is a little more like little softer of an effect here. Okay, prepare for the unexpected of family caregiving. Of unexpected and prepare for the I don't care about, well, okay. I would care more about knowing the unexpected why. Prepare for the unexpected twists and turn financial. We are here on your financial journey as caregivers. Okay, we are here every step of the way of your financial journey for family caregivers. At Caregivers Resource Group, we provide financial planning for family caregivers. Our mission, we do this by, okay, and then bullet points. We do this by financial plan, retirement plan, income plan, estate guidance, tax tips, whatever, right? I need some bullets here. What we offer. Okay, so here, again, the spacing I feel is too much, like too much blank space here, and here. Okay. Family care navigation plan. These are cute little icons. But too much too much space here, too much scrolling, too much space, too much white space. White space is good, but too much. But this text is too much block. I'd rather have bullets, no block text. Why choose us? Start with free resources to lay the groundwork. Okay, but Scott, also, like, I need to see something like, I'm an advice-only planner. I do not, will not manage your investments, no investments, something like that. Financial planning only, no investments. That point has not yet been made. I would have said it here. Advice-only planner for family caregivers. Okay. So I would have mentioned advice only here. Join the navigation plan for community. And what is that exactly? Like, this is not descriptive enough. And how is it going to help me? Access financial planning for long-term caregiving security. Okay. I like that last one. Okay. Inspirational quote, schedule, strategy call. About, okay. Okay. I'm a certified financial planner in location.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Okay, put it there, please, after that, with 10 years experience. I like the question and answer format. Give 3 questions and they answer them in the bio, and then bullets at the end stating your professional credentials, make them clear. About Caregivers Resource Group, I don't know. I mean, this is a better caregiver picture. Actually, Scott, I would much prefer this to be on the website because this is heartwarming. The other one, I feel like I feel like the 2 guys on the homepage are almost like playing beer pong. These, I feel, this is like warming my heart, okay? About Caregivers Resource Group, again, I don't know, if you're gonna have it here, good, but Scott loaded up with some keyword terms. Advice only financial advisor, advice only financial planner in blah, blah, CFP in, fee only advisor in Pittsburgh, all right? Knowledge center, blog articles and videos.
And Scott, like, tell me if I'm wrong, but probably the most common caregiver is the older first daughter, and you might want to have her on the front page.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
That's
because
fair.
she's gonna more identify. I mean,
Right.
Right. Tell me, what percentage of caregivers are female versus male?
It's like 70 to 80% female.
Yeah. So maybe
and that's probably low.
Well,
Yeah.
give guys some credit.
Well, some guys are very nurturing, but there's a lot of guys that think they're giving caregiving that are just, keeping family from burning down the house.
Okay. All right. So these blogs, I don't know if these blogs are SEO optimized. You haven't blogged in a while. That's okay. But I would love to see some blogs about what is an advice only financial planner. Go write a whole blog about it. That's what I would do, because we're going to take over the internet. Woo. Okay.
How do I get guardianship for my parent? because the estate planning wasn't done properly. How do I, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you could do with that.
Right. And thank you, Daniel. And the blogs, to Daniel's point, should just be, you have to look on Uber Suggest, which I already put in the chat, by the way, everybody, in case you didn't catch it, but you need to look there and find out how would I take this phrase and then make it keyworded? You could also take the phrase and you could just enter it into Google. Like, how do I get guardianship for my parents? Is that the phrase that people are using and typing into Google? Remember, Google knows more than us. So what we think it is might not be what people are actually searching on. So what we have to do is we should put it in the Google, and then you could look at, so hold on, let me do an example. Hey, Ouch, it's great to see you. Here we go. This is interesting. Okay, so watch this, everybody, right? How to get guardianship for parents, okay? So the first thing is, okay, Scott, see this person right here? 5 things needed to claim the guardianship of an elderly parent. Take some clues, people. We have to listen and look at what is already being done effectively. Claim the guardianship of an elderly parent. We should include that phrase in that blog about guardianship for a parent. I would connect with Romano and Sumner, PLLC, because they're ranking on Google for keyword terms related to you. So if you said to them, would you mind if I backlinked your blog? And then would you mind backlinking my website to your website because I did that? I'm going to write a blog about caregiving financial resources for caregivers. Would you mind backlinking that? This is how you create backlink synergies, folks. The people that are backlinking have SEO blogs. They've created them. They've spent the time and the money to do it. They have an interest in getting backlinks, backlink for backlink, work a deal with them, or at the very least, just reach out to them, because if they're have a lot to say about a subject to where they could at least blog about it, they want attention. Folks, people don't create blogs unless they want attention. Right? I mean, I think everybody has something better to do than create a 1,000-word blog. So think about their motivation. They're in business development growth mode. You want to be connected with those kinds of people rather than trying to harness and wrangle and drag down people that might not really care. People that are like, meh, I've got my 50 clients already. My wife doesn't even want me to retire until we're 75. We already own real estate together in the Poconos. Who like, they don't meh, like not the meh people, but the people that are like, woohoo, you want the woohoo people, and the bloggers are woohooers. Okay, everybody? So, but here we're gonna look at how to obtain guardianship of a parent.
It's very different from a child, and in most states it's different. So you could even write it for each state.
That's right, because look, thank you, Daniel. How does guardianship work in New York? Scott, how does guardianship work in Pennsylvania? See, what are the downsides of guardianship? How does guardianship work in New Mexico? Amen.
There's a lot of risk you're taking on that people don't realize. Like there's, financial risk you're taking on as being a guardian that people don't realize. There's probably 40, 50 blogs you could write about that.
Thank you so much, Daly. You always help me so much in my webinars. Okay, so this is like,
and guardianship is very difficult to get on an older parent that has dementia, and if you've not, it is very, and it can be extraordinarily costly. We've seen people get it done for $5,000, and people get it done for $40,000 or $50,000 in 9 months. So it's a real problem, just like estate planning, that people don't think about.
okay. Now, my person hasn't come in yet. I think she got my message about the meeting being postponed. Amen. Now, okay. Oh, Corrine, hold on a sec. Corey.
Corey or Corinne, either
Okay.
one works.
See, I said your name wrong. Oh my gosh, sorry. Let me now download and then upload.
It's really just a screenshot. I'm working with an IP lawyer right now about the name of the website and just double checking that. So I can't really link it at the moment.
That's okay. I can accommodate you. Let me just pull this up. Okay. Hold on a second. Financial planning for California public employees. I like it. I think you've started off well. Yes. This will do well because you have a geographic locator in there, public California public employees.
There you cut out.
Sarah, you
Right?
cut out for a second there.
Okay, sorry about that. You started out so well, but then you kind of faltered on the second step here, okay?
Okay.
So these lines underneath, I need you to complete the action of specificity and focus, because as you know, higher focus equals higher results, okay? Life really moves in a straight line. This is the particular, this is like general blah, 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 financial advisor, ho-hum gibberish, okay? I want to see it be advice only planning for California public employees, okay? And then maybe even list out the specific employee retirement systems. I would just say, I'm an advice only planner and I work with employees of the California Public Employees Retirement System, California Teachers Retirement System, and California, whatever else there is, okay?
Judges,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Keyword smashing on Google, woohoo!
Okay, thank you. I can definitely do that. That's like a 1-minute change.
Yeah, I think it's good so far, okay?
make sure they're people you actually want to work with though, before you list them.
Yeah, I used to work for my state legislature, so I kind of know these groups off the top of my head. You're right, the judges really get into the details.
And the judges will read all your stuff, but
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't save any money, but their pension, some of them do, but their pensions are insane.
Hmm.
So they're good clients once they're finally ready to do financial planning.
So, okay, now I have 18 minutes left. Does anyone else have any questions or want me to look over their website? Hi, David, thank you for being here so much. Hi, I'll look at anybody else's website, but in the meantime, here are some questions while we recapitulate. Here are some questions that people emailed me. By the way, I love when people email me questions. To me, it's like gold bars. Matthew Argyle, that you emailed me these questions, these are gold bars. I feel like you deposited gold bars in my bank account, okay, by doing this, because I love answering these questions. It's good fodder for my daily newsletter. I write my daily newsletter, by the way, which I think a lot of you are reading. If any of you unsubscribed, I think you should resubscribe to it, or at least on my monthly one, because I publish like a lot of really good stuff there and it'll help you. But anyways, I write my daily at like 10 o'clock at night after my kids go to bed. I really enjoy writing my daily. It's like my thing. It's like no, don't get me wrong. It's an analogy here. It's like my nightly glass of wine. I don't have a nightly glass of wine, by the way, but I have 4 kids. They're all under 11 years old. And this is what I do to relax, is to write my daily newsletter. I also, do other things. Like I look at real estate. I'm trying to buy a farm. I had a conversation with Farm Credit today. You know why? Because I was looking at the housing prices are so high that I'm like, golly, if I'm going to pay $600,000 for like a beat up crappy house in like central New Jersey, why don't I just go get a whole damn farm for 40 acres and build the thing myself for 300 grand? Farm Credit, here I come. Yes, I did it because I've always kind of had this fantasy about having a farm and animals and stuff like that. I really can't wait. Anyway, so I'm embarking on this dream. Isn't that exciting? If you're on social media with me, you've seen these updates. I was on the phone with Farm Credit today, who told me that even though I was thinking like Farm Credit, agrarian society, more wholesome, but just because he was a loan officer, he had to be kind of a sales schmuck, because I had just gotten a pre-approval like 3 months ago. And then the loan officer today is like, you should get a pre-approval with us so you could get vacant land and build a barn on it. And I'm like, I don't even have the vacant land yet, and you're talking to me about building a barn. How much does the barn cost? He's like, I don't know. You need to call up a contractor. And then I'm like, well, how can you tell me to get a pre-approval and tap my credit for the 3rd time in 3 months if you don't even know that I have a property yet, right? And then he's like, it's not that bad. It won't matter. Sales schmuck alert. Sorry. And I was like, Farm Credit. Like, you almost had, when I saw you call Farm Credit. I was ready to get like a checkered dress and like a bandana and stuff, and I was all countryed out. Like I thought we were gonna be like doing the deal today, Farm Credit, and now you did this and betrayed my trust.
Commission sales.
You mean you just aren't remodeling the home, right? Oh my gosh. Anyways, okay. So that's the other thing I do, by the way. I go on the internet late at night and I look at farms. I'll send some of you sometime. It's so relaxing to look at farmland for me. And then I read all about like the different kinds of soil, like Phil, are you still here? Phil works with farmers, loam soil and like gravelly loam. And I know all the different categories now, everybody. I'm hoping one day I can have the immersion at my farm, but that's years down the line. Anyways, okay. Does anybody want me to cover any one of these questions in specific? If so, just call out the number of the question and I'll answer it first. Any tips for getting around pop-up blockers to collect more email addresses? Here's the tip. I'm going to answer number 9 first because nobody responded in time. Number 9, any tips on getting around pop-up blockers? Okay, so a pop-up is basically a little thing that comes up that pops up when someone goes to your website and it says like, enter your email to receive like retirement readiness roadmap, blah, ho hum, lead magnet, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, okay, folks, I think that you should just have awesome content and very compelling, clear language on your website to motivate the person to want to call you. To want to follow your newsletter. You can mention it in the beginning and in the end of every blog you write. You should put it at the top of your homepage. But I'm a fan of like allowing people to actively volunteer their email rather than having it be so in your face, a pop-up so in your face. Pop-ups can go really wrong. I'm not the biggest fan of pop-ups because there are pop-up blockers too. But you can't fail. Folks, you can't fail. If you wrote the best blog on how to obtain guardianship that anybody ever wrote, and it was long and it was bulleted and it had block text and call out text and it had images and you really worked hard on it and it was awesome. And then you got like 5 attorneys, to backlink it so it was ranking nice and high in Google. I'd be more of a fan of like, instead of trying to strong arm people, I'd be more of a fan of like, just be awesome. Sorry if that sounds like mom's apple pie, tongue-in-cheek type advice, but there's no substitute for that. And without it, it's very hard to get through.
Well, and like, there's a lot of people like me that if there's 3 pop-ups on a website, I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to have an AI scan the website and tell me about it and listen to, I'm not even going to look at the website, but if there's really, really good content, like I saw something that was like, I think people are people research us and look at us and go to different, they'll listen to a podcast, they'll go watch your video, they'll go check somewhere else, and then 3 months later they call you. And their first interaction with you might have been 2 years ago, but they never got into your funnel yet. Like they stalk us. And so you just have to like asymmetrically develop the relationship with the person that you've never met somehow. So good content's probably the only way to do that.
Yeah, because it says to them, look, I want to help you and educate you. Like, hey, I have these webinars, I have this podcast, I have these blogs, I have this newsletter, or just follow me on social media, or just email me and say hi and tell me what you're interested in. And I won't bug you, don't worry. Like I had this one widow, she reached out to me right after she lost her husband. And then and she's like, I need a financial advisor. Because, I have the list where I'm like, bleh, bleh, commission stinks, bleh, 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 go try to hire these people instead. Okay, fine. So took her 3 years, like literally 3 years later, and I just was dripping. I was publishing this newsletter every month, like for consumers. I have a consumer newsletter too. Okay, so can you share a networking strategy or 2 for driving high quality traffic? Number 6, I'm going to answer that in concert with number 7. Any tips? No, sorry. In concert with number 5. The more you can get the website linked on other people's websites, the more Google is going to trust the website. It's also the idea of not, it's good for your SEO, but it's also good for your business because it's the idea of not operating in a silo. It's the idea of being somewhat collective. It's the idea of creating a community. It's the idea of being so in touch with other people and what's on their minds that you become entirely focused on the needs of the client and the needs of those serving the client and what their perspective is. That you focus much more on the actual concepts and what provides value. You focus more on seeing things from other people's point of view rather than seeing it from your point of view when you do that. Look, I know that this sounds, again, like mom's apple pie and it's an abstract concept. The more you can understand with clarity how prospects look at your services, look at their finances, think about their finances, make financial decisions, the behaviors that they do, the more that you can understand the behaviors that the lawyers that serve them do, that they're about their practices, how their practices work, how they charge fees, what they like, what they don't like, what they like about working with financial advisors, what they don't. The more you can be a good partner, the more you're going to get backlinked because you're going to be sending stuff out and they're going to be like, you know what? I should do something nice for him or her. I should publish this on my blog. I should send this to my business networking group. And then your stuff is eventually going to get backlinked. People focus on people who have something to say, writers, bloggers, people who are in the media, in the press, thought leaders. The more you can get their attention and be complimentary to them, the higher the likelihood of you getting into their stream, into their feed, onto their website. And that's what's going to drive organic traffic. You don't have to do this all yourself. The more that you can hijack the volume that other people have gathered, you may have to give up a little bit for yourself, but of yours for theirs. But be strategic about these complementary partnerships. The more you can do that, the better it'll be. Do you suggest a variety of lead magnets or just one? One, maybe two, but make it awesome because no one's going to come to your website and download two things. I don't think. Oh, hi, Curtis. I didn't even realize you were here. How are you doing? I don't even think that I've downloaded two things from one website in my whole entire career. Who else is here? I've been so busy talking. I'm so excited everybody's here. I would just say one lead magnet, but like have it be awesome. Financial advisors. Here's an idea for a lead magnet. Make a sample financial plan. And be like, have you ever wondered, this should be the lead magnet. When I say financial planning, do you even know what that means? Here's a sample financial plan. And then, but the financial plan, folks, should be customized to the niche of the person you're most likely to work with. So John Bell, where are you from? Where do you live?
I have to take myself off mute. Maryland, sorry.
What's
Maryland.
the name of Maryland?
Oh, Columbia, Maryland.
Columbia, okay, John. Would you say you target people who are higher income earners in that area?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Is there a particular place that they would tend to live? Particular neighborhoods?
Sure. I mean, Howard County is one of the more, affluent areas in the country. Like it's
Awesome.
typical.
Okay. Yep. Okay, John. If I were you for your website, this is what I would do if I were John. I would make a sample financial plan, make it a lead magnet they can download using the prompt that I just described. Howard County would be the place where the hypothetical fictional person lives. Find out the average, John, home price in Howard County. Find out what the average, like what a typical mortgage would be for somebody who's, let's say, 50. Who maybe has had a mortgage for 10 years out of 30. What would the mortgage be that they're paying every month? Put that into the financial plan. What would be the tax rates in that county? Put that into the financial plan. What would be the typical like salary or income of a family? Have that included in the financial plan. So don't just make it some random financial plan. Make it so that when the person downloads it, the most likely person to download it is somebody in your locality if you've done your website correctly and you're targeting local clients. Let's say that you're targeting like veterinarians across the country, different story. You'd have to make a veterinarian financial plan, doing the research accordingly. But for this Howard County one, it should be screaming, I'm a local financial advisor who understands the specificities of your life. Don't just make it inputs that are random.
Mhm.
And that'll really speak to people if you do that. That's what I would do. And then I would say, you could even make like a video about it. That would also help with SEO. What does a financial plan typically look like for one of my clients? In this and you could do a Loom video. Loom is a free screen sharing software that you could share your screen and talk about. Chris, I think you should do this too, okay, for paraplanning. Yep, okay. So what you could do is you could make a Loom video when you're screen sharing and you're showing them parts of the financial plan and you're explaining, hey, I'm John Bell. I'm, again, you know I love those keywords, advice only financial advisor in Maryland. Here's a typical financial plan that I'd put together for a hypothetical client. Let's say that this person works at blah, 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 and is seeking a retirement income plan for their retirement in Maryland. Retirement in Maryland is a key word. See how I'm throwing the SEO in here, right? Betty and John live in Howard County. Then you walk through the financial plan and be like, and then at the end be like, my financial planning process entails a thorough intake, and it also entails a questioning process. We won't be doing the investments. We'll be giving you recommendations that you then implement. Who do my financial planning and services work well for? Contact me, boom, end of the video. Put that video on the website, get them to download the lead magnet. By the way, if you put it on YouTube, YouTube is a Google product, and that video will optimize on Google as well for those keywords if you put them in there correctly.
Great, thank you.
You could case study, John, is it like the 2 or 3 zip codes? You can look them up. You can look up where, you know, median home price, incomes, like all those, you know, and then just make that case study for those okay, they live in Cooksville, they're thinking about downsizing to Fulton or whatever, you know.
Sure. Do you live in Maryland?
No.
Oh,
But
okay.
I just looked them up though.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just really, really smart. Okay, everybody.
No, I just looked them up.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here. You know I love this community. I am honored that you showed up here. And I mean, you know me, right? I'm a tough cookie. You see me on the internet. I call the shots as they are. And I really, if I've called you here, it's because I like you. It's because I literally enjoy being around you professionally, in addition to wanting to help your businesses. Okay. Community. For those of you that are not working with me and on my program, it'd be cool if you wouldn't want to do that. If you would like to do that, I'd be overjoyed to work with you. But even if you don't, I want to still stand behind you. I just want to be a part of your success because I want businesses like yours to succeed because I think they could really help society. And I've called you here because I felt that way. So I just want to say is, everybody, please call on me. If you have any questions, the questions that you give me are gold bars in my bank account because I can write on them. Okay, unless it's like real specific, like that you don't want me to write on it, tell me. But most of the time people don't send me questions like that. Okay, what I'm saying is, I really think that if we take over the internet, that we can make a difference and that we can get to people that are otherwise going to go to Edward Jones and other disgusting, whoops, did I say that? Anyways, I really think that we can do it, everybody. In each of you, which is why I'm excited that you're here. And I know that this is hard. And I know that times it might seem thankless. Trust me, for my immersion event, I made 400 phone calls. I didn't feel good. At times I didn't feel good. Luckily, my man is a hustler himself, okay? And was like, no, you can't, you have to keep making the calls like crazy, right? But it's not going to feel good. But I want and need you to do this. And there are a lot of people out there that need you to reach them. So thank you so much for being here. I believe in you. I believe in what we're doing. And I just want to make this a success, whether or not you work with me on my programs or not. I'm humbled and thankful for you being here. Amen. We have our transparency meetup on the 14th for the general group, not marketing focused, and I'll see you then, okay?
I
God
have a
bless you.
question. I have a
Awesome.
question.
Thank you,
quick-
Sarah.
I have a quick question, Sarah. On your most recent transparency flat fee advisor question about the compliance and how it's different, is there a way I can republish this on LinkedIn? Would that be okay with you?
Amen. Please share my content. If it's posted on LinkedIn, post away, girlfriend.
All right, I just wanted your permission.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's so cool. All right. Amen. Bye, everybody. God bless you. Bye.